You are live, it says. Are we?
I got one comment. They gotta be kidding.
We ready?
You showing up?
I think
But
there's like,
its timer's not done running.
Okay.
usually there's like a 1 minute lag.
That's so they can,
In case there's cuss words.
yeah.
Yeah, so they can bleep out all of Dick's cursing.
They could only read your mind.
Still
Right.
not live.
They could
There we
only-
go.
All right, let's go ahead and call the September 2nd, 2025 Tipton Utility Service Board meeting to order. The first item on the agenda, the minutes from the last meeting.
I move they be approved as submitted.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as submitted. Any conversations, concerns, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next, we'll move to claims.
Make a motion, we pay claims 26,894 through 26,949 for $405,308.99.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve claims as submitted. Any questions? Comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I think we are up to you,
Okay.
sir.
Sent out July financials, everything remains strong. Feels like we've spent a lot of money this year in purchasing equipment on the electrical side. One more good size invoice coming in this month, it'll show up next month. And then, water departments had various issues we've been paying for. Otherwise, I think we're in good shape year over year, looking good, and I think we're set for the future. Any questions on the financials?
Good.
Okay. Do have a board resolution in front of you. We've done some back and forth on the employee training payback. This is if we were to invest thousands of dollars in an employee and get them credentialed, get them certified in some way, shape, or form, whether it's apprenticeship or operator license, CDL. We would like to have something in writing that says, you take these credentials and then leave us, you owe us some money. And that's spelled out in the resolution. It's prorated. The first year, I think it's 100%. If you leave after that, then it's 50%. If you leave after the second year, it's 25. And then just something hopefully to encourage our folks that if we invest in you, we want you to stay. And I appreciate all the comments back and forth. I think I captured them all in the final resolution. So be glad to take any other questions or comments or look for an approval.
So the way this is written, greater than 36 months is zero. There's no
Yes,
payback.
yeah. I think that's fair. We invested and they stayed that long. We got something out of it for sure.
And if it's over 5,000, they only pay 5,000.
Up to 5, and that's third-party vendors. If they
Right.
send you off for training, and I
Right.
got an invoice, then I can back it up. I'm not gonna say, well, you were spending 2 hours,
Yeah.
prepping. We're not gonna get into people's time, but definitely invoices.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 2025-05.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-05. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Awesome, thank you. Several other matters to bring to your attention. We did have safety training a couple weeks ago on load rigging. So always comes in handy for all departments and was very well attended by the utility folks. I mentioned in previous utility board meetings that we're evaluating our filter issues out at the West plant and still looking at different options. It's probably going to be work that we'll be able to push into 2026, take a little bit of a relief on the spend for, the rest of this year. But as I mentioned before, it's over $100,000 issue, but we'll literally get to the bottom of the filter on it and get it fixed right before the big customer moves in and starts needing a lot of water. We want to do it now while we're still at lower flows. Also wanted to mention that some investments we made on the electrical front. So apparently 8, 10, 12 years ago, we upgraded the lines going south, called the South Loop, that feeds the schools and the hospitals. And right before COVID, there was an intention to connect Park 100 to that circuit, South Loop. And just for a little better reliability, as you know, we've had some issues on some of the stuff on the Washington Street circuit. Not this year, thankfully, but in the last couple of years. So Joe Plake and I resurrected that investment for Park 100. Basically required about 500-600 feet of underground bore off of the new lines and then over to Park 100. That's in place, and we're getting ready to switch them over to that more reliable South Loop, because they're the one customer, if we lose power, it really, really disrupts them, because their processes are all, second by second, minute by minute, and then they lose power. They don't have backup generation, although we suggested that. Needlers loses power, the freezers are still cold for a while, and things like that. So Joe and I thought it made sense to go ahead and move forward with that. And when COVID hit, there was the way the circuits were balanced kind of got thrown off, because there was less people working at the businesses in town, and that lessened the load. And Park 100, I think, slowed things down even. So anyway, I wanted you guys to know it's probably $30,000-$40,000 investment. I think it's a good, wise move on our part, because the repercussions, if we had a really bad power loss on them, would come back on us at some point.
Be drastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Do we have the ability to switch circuits?
we do. It is manual, but
Yeah.
within 10 minutes, if we know it's going to be, something happens on the South Loop, and we know it's going to be out for hours at a time, we can manually come in and switch it over. That's a great question. And
Good.
that was part of the redundancy
Good.
we wanted and they wanted. So, okay. Another electrical issue I mentioned in an email this morning, there was an input error on our tracker charges in the third and fourth quarters of last year. Right at this time last year, we had never received a negative tracker number. So all the good things, IMPA's reducing cost and the power production costs went down. So we were all beneficiaries of it. Well, when we input the tracker number, and this is like fractions of a penny, went in as a positive number in the third quarter and fourth quarter last year. And that was caught during an audit by the State Board of Accounts. Thankfully, they saw that. Otherwise, we did not know the difference. And what we agreed to with the state board was, hey, we're in the third and fourth quarter this year. Let's just take that issue and reconnect it in the way it should have been. Plus, because it was a negative number, we have to go times 2 to make it accurate. And they thought that was a reasonable solution and would make the customers whole. And then the other thing the state board caught was, when we implemented our new electric rates, there was a base charge for all residents of $10.50. Our third-party vendor, Keystone, input that as $10.15. So for the last 20 months, all of us residential customers have been a beneficiary of 35 cents per month. Not a huge deal, but over 20 months, it's $7. So I felt like, and the state board agreed, that we would just leave that $7 in everybody's pocket, and we wouldn't try to recover that. We would make the corrections on the tracker for this quarter and next quarter, and we would be, the customers would be slightly ahead of the game, and that's what we wanted. So that email was kind of tough to digest, but I hopefully I explained it better here tonight.
So the average residential bill was impacted how much roughly, Jim?
$2 to $3, $2.50 per month.
Per month.
Per month on
Total
the
per
tracker
month.
issue, and
Okay.
35 cents on the undercharge.
Yeah.
So that will start showing up on bills starting now, and we'll run it through this third and fourth quarters, make everybody whole. And then we're going to do a little deeper dive on the larger customers, sometimes their power usage can fluctuate a lot more than what we do at our house, at our homes. So we want to make sure they're not getting shorted.
Yeah.
And if they come out better, then that's to their benefit, so. On the electrical front, myself and board member Raver attended the last IMPA board meeting on August 22nd. Pretty uneventful. Typically, I bring something back and share with you in an email. There was really nothing to bring back, but Mark, it's been a while since you've been there. What would you say?
It was what I remember it to be. They did go over the budget, and the budget numbers are huge numbers when you throw all 60 communities or 61 communities throughout, but they run a pretty tight ship, and you've all seen it.
Yeah. There continues to be concern on the power plant investment we all have over in Illinois called Prairie States. There's still a lot of anti-coal folks really pushing hard, trying to shut that most economical, newest coal plant in the nation down only after 12, 15 years it's been running. And IMPA has, I think it's about a 15% ownership of that plant and holds bonds on it till 2040. So we need to keep it running until at least 2040, pay the bonds off, and then we'll see where the cards fly at that point. But
The state of Illinois, I heard through my employer that they're going to some interruptible or non-interruptible service rates that are pretty expensive. It's like a $10,000 to $20,000 rider just to have non-interruptible service. So there's going to be a point in time, I think some people are going to do something different or find a different solution politically. But also I've been reading that there's some nuclear plants that have been mothballed that they're working to get back online. It's just our electrical consumption and combined with coal or solar and wind has made it a little suspect on the grid. So.
And the whole data center thing that's going across the country with Microsoft and Google and Apple and all the big tech firms, they're looking at retired assets like these nuclear plants and saying, hey, we'll just resurrect that plant and we'll produce our own electricity. I mean, they're monster users of electricity and could support a whole plant to allow them to do things in your realm, Parker. So anyway, that's the only thing I remember from the meeting. Of course, we got fed well. Project updates. I am pleased to report we did commission the new lift stations, and we are now sending flow from out west into the city plant. And we're in the process of decommissioning the old west plant. And decommissioning means we will shut things down. We will pull pumps and motors and use anything at the east plant. We're not going to demolish any buildings or structures at this point. And it's sometime between now and the end of the year, I will notify IDEM that we're ready to retire our discharge permit, which they will be happy about that. Anytime you take a discharge out of the stream, they're always good about that. So they approved our closure plan though, and the lift stations are sending water from west to the intermediate to the manhole right by the park, and off we go.
Hey, I say to you, you have to feel a very good job on your part, and we appreciate your effort.
A lot of good help. Scott Reeser especially, he's been there every step of the way, and
It's quite an accomplishment.
well, to that end, we'll get to the ribbon cutting ceremony. I'll give you a heads up on that. But the water tower is being filled today, so it's being disinfected and filled. Have to do some back T testing, then we'll put into service by the end of this week, and then we're going to have ribbon cutting on September 16th at 2 p.m. out by the new water tower. I will send you guys an Outlook appointment.
Okay.
But can write that time and date. That's firm. The folks that administered the grant, Stephen Ray and Jenny from North Central Region out of Peru, they have invited the state folks that distributed the money.
It'll be out there
Yeah,
at the West Plant,
yes.
2:00, 16.
Come early, we'll have things set up, and then it'll be just like the solar park. We'll mix and mingle for a little bit, and then we'll have a few words from different people. County, city, county, utility. We're come together and pulled off a good project. And to that end, we've received $3.4 million of ready funds out of 3.5. So we're down to one invoice with them. And then locally, we've spent $3.3 million, and we'll finish out with the local spend. So we're right on budget, right on schedule, and we'll celebrate it on the 16th. So hopefully you can attend. And
Great.
Yep.
It's been a long journey.
Quite a
It's
feat.
been a long journey. Congratulations.
Thank you. Then the last piece of the water project out there, we're in the process of replacing the backwash pump because of the new amount of water available and pressure differentials. We need to put in a bigger backwash pump, and that's in process. Mike Pottinger's doing some of the electrical work as we speak. The pump's sitting there ready. So in the next few weeks, we'll make that switch over. And then we're done on West Street. I don't know if anybody's driven on West Street. It's got the nicest street in Tipton.
That it is.
Bill White and all the neighbors have got the best street. After all the pain they went through. And Bob, the pain's over, right? Me, okay. So the same contractor and same concepts happening over on East Street, and they're down by the creek working their way north, and most of our water work is completed. Now it's just stormwater as far as our participation. So I'm sure we've found up Pork Festival traffic somehow over there. Not we, but they. But we'll get it done.
Yep.
The only thing else out west I could mention here that's happens in the last couple of weeks, we, the city, the county, and the city and utility received a draft interlocal agreement from the county on commercial industrial properties and how it would tie us all together, hopefully in a friendly handshake in writing on how we're going to do it. It's under review from our attorney. We just got it late last week. I haven't looked at it. Donnie, I don't know if you've had
I glanced at it, but I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the attorney's opinion
So
really on that.
we owe the county a response, and I'm sure we'll get that to them in due time. And we'll see what happens from there. Pete's involved for sure. So I think that's all I have. We get together again on Monday, the September 15th, and then that Tuesday is the ribbon cutting. So maybe get to see y'all then.
Terrific. Any other questions, comments, concerns from board members? Bob?
I do.
Okay.
Is there a time frame on East Street?
On East Street? Well, they have to have the
When it's
paving
done.
done by Thanksgiving. That's when the asphalt plant shut down. And I'm pretty sure that's a little easier project than the one you just went through on West Street. So I would say late October. And I'm just based on experience and what they have left to do.
That interlocal agreement you were just talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of things is that addressing?
Commercial and industrial properties. Think about the factory you have out there, Love's, the car dealership. To the best of my knowledge, there was never anything legally set up between the city, the county, the utility, and I think they're trying to get that taken care of then, as well as other properties they hope to develop in the future. So it's non-residential, and I think it's an agreement of what they'll do and what we'll do and how we'll work together based on just a quick view I had on it.
I assume that's referring to money?
All things, money, ownership, I guess probably the right to say yes or no and who can do what. So Mainly money would be my guess, yes. So typically unincorporated areas, like all that area is out there, it would be up to them to finance. But I haven't looked, I don't know if that's what the agreement says, but
Well, I mean, that was my concern.
that's where we will come from.
As to what utilities would be committing to paying for, before they know what something is.
I'm not sure we would have any monetary participation, but likely we would have to guarantee capacities and ability to produce whatever up to what we say we can, so.
That backwash pump you were talking about,
Yeah,
what kind of money are we talking?
it
for
was
that to
a
do?
$25,000 pump.
Okay.
Then we're gonna do about $30,000 of electrical work with a new VFD and new wiring, so it'll be a $75,000 project when it's all said and done.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Anyone else have anything?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, got a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Me too, Dick. You be careful now.
Well, bud, thank you.
You betcha.
I'll be talking to you.